lost in the feeling. I just need a win. I'm going off, I know it's time to make a change, and I can take the pain. You wanna sink or swim? I'm gonna go down swinging. Look deep within. I get lost in the feeling. I just need a win. I'm gonna find my meaning, I can make a change. I wanna play the game. You wanna sink or swim? I'm gonna go down swinging. Look deep within. I get lost in the feeling. I just need a win. I'm going off, I know it's time to make a change, and I can take the pain. You wanna sink or swim? I'm gonna go down swinging. Look deep within. I get lost in the feeling. I just need a win. I'm gonna find my meaning, I can make a change. I wanna play the game, yeah.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Hey, people in the bushes. So yeah, I'm on my other channel. Okay, my little channel here. For a couple of reasons. Because this is a channel I want to put like my conversations with convicted killers and others, etc., etc., etc. Okay. No, this phone call that I'm going to be sharing, we can talk about anything else if anybody comes. Okay. So this phone call here is with my offender. I think it was a year ago, this phone call, because he just got out of prison. Let's see. This was a few months before he got out of prison, okay? Now, I met him, let's see, this happened in 2005 or 6. Okay, so I met this guy, okay? I didn't know, I knew he was in a halfway house or whatever, but I didn't know the legit reasons, because back then I didn't, know that we could research people and all that. You can, as in today's world. So anyways, and he was pretty cool and stuff, and he told me he was in there for robbery and drugs, I think he said. So, me, I think I can fix anybody, okay? And he was a nice guy, and what was a nice guy. Okay, and this is what happened. He's from Chicago, and so we went out there to a road trip, and I just got my car, brand new car, and so me and him drive to his mom's in Chicago. And okay, some things I gotta not say because it's just gonna give stuff away about my personal life, and I don't need that part of my life. You know what I mean? Be brought out. It's hard to explain, so I'm gonna think of how to use different wording. Okay, so what ended up happening was I have this brand new car, right? And I was smart, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna need another. What if I lock my keys in my car? I'm gonna have to bring my other set, and I did, and I put it in my suitcase. We went to his mom's, and me and her were upstairs and crap, and all of a sudden I went, "Where's Brandon?" And she's like, "I don't know." So I went down. I went downstairs. See, my suitcase was open. I'm like, "Oh my god!" So I went running outside, and my car was gone. And so I freaked out. I was crying. I didn't know what to do because um, I've never left my state, never been on vacation. And I went there to help him out to go see his mom and, go on a road trip. So her mom's boyfriend at the time, I don't know if he was a cop or knew a cop. So we called him over. He ended up finding my car. He was in that neighborhood. I can't say the neighborhood. I'll give it away. And got my car back. And then he ended up coming back. And then his mom and the mom's boyfriend, or whatever he was, not his dad, I know that. They got into a fist fight. It was horrible. And I already dealt with that crap with my ex-husband, you know. I don't know if you guys know my story. Horrible story. It's not a story. It was my real life. So yeah, there's a lot of blood and crap. And what ended up happening is we had to leave that night. His mom didn't want him there. And, you know, I didn't blame her, but I got stuck with him. So we ended up having to go to a hotel and they paid for it. And so, anyways, on the way back, I kicked him out because he was staying at my place, but not really living there. But I said, "You're not allowed to come back here," you know, because it was secured and all that. And I left for the night. I came back and I just felt something really eerie. And I just pushed on my door and it came open. And what he did was he busted in my apartment because I was on the ground level and he punched the windows out in my living room. So I ran and tried to get help from the manager because I didn't know if he was still in there or not. And so I seen that he trashed my place, and you know, of course, I cried. I couldn't freaking believe it that this is happening to me because I was really good to him, as in, you know, just being a support system, you know. And then what ended up happening, I moved. I couldn't stay there no more. I let my lease go and I went and stayed somewhere else and until I got a different place. He never paid me back. Oh, I should say this. The cops showed up. Now this is crazy. Did I call the cops for that? With him, I can't remember. No, I don't think I did. So I had these cops that showed up at my house. One was undercover and I didn't know that. And I said, and he asked for him, and I'm like, no. And then I looked at the other guy and I said to him, I go, don't you know how to do your job or whatever because of his previous charges? And I said to the other guy who's playing clothes, I go, and who the hell are you? Because I told him he couldn't come in my apartment. And so he lifted up his shirt and he was undercover, but it was a college town I lived in. And so he looked like a college kid. So then they shared some more information I didn't know about, and it had to do with a woman in Chicago. Oh God, what was it? Sexual assault, I think it was. Unwanted touch or something. I was in shock. I'm like, okay, come in my fucking apartment. And I was just in shock. They seen I was in shock. And so they held me out in the sense to get order protection for me and stuff because of what I just went through with him. So within between that time after that happened to me, he went on a rampage. Let's see, he kidnapped people, three different people. Um, said he was going to kill them, had a knife to their throat, and they considered that. He only got charged with second degree assault, which is weird. Fleeing an officer. Um, he stole three cars just to get 100 miles. Within that 100 miles, he did all this. And it was one woman and two men. He beat one of them up, and then he crashed a car that he stole, the very last one. So it was pretty overwhelming, pretty scary. So I'm so careful. I try my best to be so careful around people. Oh, okay. So here's my point. So he'd been locked up for quite a while, you guys. Like I said, 2005, 2006. I can't remember that this happened. So I think it was a year ago. I kind of had a feeling he was getting out. So I, of course, checked it out and he was. And so I reached out to him. For me, feeling out to see if I'm safe, okay? And just to see if he would admit his wrongs to me. So I'm going to play that phone call. victim of a crime, well, more than one crime. This is one of the hardest things I had to do, but I did it for me. And this happened, it took me 15 years to actually accept this apology, somewhat of an apology, but time will tell.
I bet you were.
Yeah, I thought about you too through the years, but I never had the balls to, try to broach that situation just because, the way it ended.
I knew you were locked up though. I did know that.
Well, did you see me on the news? I was on the news for like 3 days when it happened.
No, they came to my house.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
came
that's
to
what you're
they came
saying.
to my house more than once. They came even after that. I think maybe even let's see, up to a week to a month out. And so I moved within that month. Well, they told me they were worried for my safety.
Huh?
They got me all freaked out. And plus, you did bust in my apartment, but whatever. Brandon, that's your past, and you're gonna leave it there with me, okay?
Yeah.
How does that sound?
Yeah, it was the day they cut my ankle bracelet off. They came to cut my ankle bracelet off because I was on the ISR parole with an ankle bracelet. And I was doing good, everything was going good. And they came to cut it off. And I told them, I was like, hey, the only reason I'm even probably acting halfway normal is because I got this ankle bracelet on. I'm like, I think you should just leave this on. It's working. I've been out 30 days. I ain't caused no trouble, whatever. And they're like, it costs us $500 a month. You've been on it 30 days. You ain't caused no trouble. We're not going to keep paying for it, so we're going to take it off. And, within 24 hours, I was on the run. I was, robbing people, carjacking people, acting crazy. And, for 3-4 days later, I was in jail. Again on this one. So, yeah, I don't know, man.
You had an ankle bracelet when you were with me?
No.
Oh, I was
No,
gonna
I
say.
got out after that.
Oh, you did.
After the situation with you, I got out again. I got out, and then I did like 3 or 4 years, and then I got out for like a month or something, and they had me on ISR parole and an ankle bracelet, and it was like 2011 I got out, and then I got out again in 2013, and in 2013 is when I got these carjacking robberies right now that I'm in here for, and I just did 8 years for it. So that's from 2013 till now. That was the last time I got out.
Oh,
Yeah, I have been out since that situation.
oh, I didn't know that.
It was very brief.
Yeah.
I got out for just a minute and started drinking again. And like I say, when I was on that ankle bracelet, then I was acting all right for 30 days, but as soon as they cut it off, I went ham.
Well, you warned them. You warned them.
Yeah. I told them, I knew I needed that structure. Like, even right now, like, there's a good chance that it's going to have to go to, like, a DOC house or something, which is, like, just a flop house. And, I'm trying to get in, like, a halfway house or a transition house or somewhere where there's some kind of structure or something. I don't know, man. I just feel like some kind of structure would probably be better than just, going out to nothing. But right now, they're not even sure what county I'm going to go to when I get out. Sure. They don't really have to supervise me because I really don't have anything going in that county right now. I'm not on parole there. This crime that I'm in here for right now ain't from there, so they don't have to take me. So all that stuff's up in the air right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know what's up, but I'll figure it out. I got some money put up, so the worst case scenario, I'll find a room to rent or something. I got that little stimulus money they were putting out.
Yeah.
Yeah, some inmates in California sued saying, that just because we're inmates don't mean we shouldn't get that stimulus money too when they want.
Yeah.
So yeah, they gave me the $1,200, and they gave me the $1,200, and I sent that out to my mom to hold, and I sent her like 6 or 7 other hundred that I was just saving up in here, and then they said they sent the 6th and the 14th, but I haven't got it yet. But when I get that, I'm gonna send it to my mom to hold too. About like $4 grand. I gotta like rent a room somewhere, figure something out. At least I got some money out there for that.
Would they let you go to Chicago?
Yeah, no, that's the problem is, I got parole until February 5th of next year, and until then I can't go to Illinois. But as soon as February comes, my mom wants me to go there. My mom's like, just come home, you know, we got you, and, you know, we'll just start fresh there. While I was in prison, they were coming every year, and then last year, they were just planning on coming out in April, right before this COVID stuff hit, and then COVID hit, and they shut down visiting, and then it's pretty much been shut down ever since then, so it's been, you know, talking to them on the phone and stuff, but, yeah, they were coming down and visiting me and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, they're, you know, they're just,
You're getting out.
only 'cause I've been in
Are you getting out in July? You said.
July 7th,
Okay.
like 2.5 months.
Wow.
Yeah, finally. But,
So you got 8 years.
this time, yeah, I got 8 years in and 7 months parole on this one. They hit me with 3 career criminals because when I got out after that stuff with you, I got out, and what happened on this stuff is the day they cut the ankle bracelet off, man, I robbed somebody, a carjacked him in Brainerd, went to the city. I went to Foley. There's a grocery store in Foley, like a Colburn's or someplace that's open real late at night. And I went in there just to get directions, and I ended up taking the manager, making him, you know, I robbed him, and then made him drive me to the city. So they hit me with kidnapping for making him drive me to the city. I let him go, and then I was in the city for like 3 days, just running around acting crazy, robbing people and stuff. And then I'm like, oh man, I got to go back up to Brainerd. I'm on parole. What am I doing? What am I thinking? And in my high, drunken state, I think I can just go back to Brainerd and get away with all this. So I carjack somebody else to go back to Brainerd, and I get in a high-speed chase, and I get in a car accident, and they hit me with 3 career criminals and tried to give me 60 years. You know, started, you know, actually talking to these people, telling them what's going on with me, you know. And it was a lot, you know, like 40 hours of treatment a week for 3 years, you know. I guess I needed it, but
Yeah.
yeah, then I'm on a bunch of meds, you know. I really don't like that, but they got me on like 6 meds right now. When I get out, I'm gonna try to like get back down to just like 1 med because I feel like they got me over medicated almost, but I don't know, it works. It keeps me calm and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
they had me on SSI and everything last time I was out for mentally disabled. Like that time after I got out after the situation with you, and when I was on the ankle bracelet, when I got locked up on this one, SSI got involved and they said, we're going to put you on disability and just, you know, we just don't want you to be in the public acting crazy. Take your meds and we'll give you a check every month from SSI and stuff. So, I mean, I even had that locked up and I still screwed it up. So, when I get out this time, I ain't going on SSI or nothing. I feel like I'm good now. Like, I think I got it pretty much together. I can just go get a job and work. Pretty much be good.
Yeah.
To go. Everything in here has been going smooth for the last couple of years. I feel like I can keep it going out there, so I'd rather just go out and get a job.
So when you're in group, you use my situation for your group.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, well, you pretty much got to talk about everything you ever did. Like, there's assignments, like, every crime you've ever committed, whether we know about it or not, or whether you arrested or not, we want to know everything. And they were just like, you know, all the people that you harmed, we want you to name every victim, everybody you harmed, and how you harmed them, and how you plan to have empathy, and do you plan on making amends, or, you know, all this kind of stuff. And, you know, so I talked about it all, but yeah, I talked about, because some of my therapists are like, you've never been married, you've never had kids, like, you seem like a personable guy. A lot of people, when they see me sober, are like, what's going on? Because they don't understand the maniac I am when I drink and do drugs. But a therapist, it was the same way. Like, you know, like, you've never been married, like, and I'm like, no, I date when I'm out there. Like, I'm not antisocial or a hermit or nothing. Like, I date, but, you know, if I'm sober with my drink, I can screw it all up. And I basically told them, you know, all the stuff that happened. I said, I better, you know, good chick, man. We had good things going. And then one day I went to a restaurant to get lunch while we were shopping, and I started drinking. We went to Walmart or something after that, and she spelled it on me, and she got pissed and was like, nope, this ain't happening. And yeah, I told them the whole thing. You know, I started using drugs, you know, told them I'm going to Illinois, all that shit.
Well, I hope it helped you getting through all of it. You know what I mean? Because that's the biggest hurdle. You know that, right? Amidst all your wrongdoing. You know that.
What's that?
Admitting all your wrongdoings.
Huh?
Admitting all your wrongdoings, and it sounds like you have. And I commend you for
well,
that.
that's what they say too, because otherwise you just keep going back to drinking because you feel so guilty or you feel so much shame, which is, I still deal with it right now. Like even talking to you, I knew it was going to be hard just hearing your voice or talking just, because I'm still ashamed of, a lot of stuff I did. So, but, you just got to work through it. Every day it gets better.
Oh yeah.
It gets better, so I trust the process. I talked to a bunch of my group members about this, about calling you and stuff like that. I was like, they know what's going on. Like I got 10 group members in here that I talked to about a lot of stuff, and I just, yeah, they were like, I told them, like what? I'm like, yeah, remember the one I was telling you in group, the one that called me at the halfway house when she found me?
You have 1 minute remaining.
That you broke into a pub and all that crazy shit. I'm like, yeah. They're like, well, be nice. Man, you were a dick, man. Like, fucking, you better apologize, all this and that. So.
Tell me what you need. 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 Tell me.
So yeah, there you have it. That was super, super hard for me to do, but I had to. And if you notice, he says, the situation with you. See, the people I know, they always say that they don't admit what they've done or just sugarcoat what they've done or just share what they want to share. But does he realize that I do my research? Back then I didn't know how, it wasn't a big deal like it is now. But because I wanted to see what he was going to lie about, because I got all the court documents of all his crimes. But he wanted to meet up with me when he got out of prison to, what did he say? Officially, face to face to apologize to me and whatever. No, absolutely not. That didn't happen. So when he was off parole here, I know he's going back to Chicago. He's supposed to. But I just needed to, see what he was going to do, if he was going to apologize or whatever. And I could tell he was nervous. Because what he did was really foul. To anybody was foul. But I was helping him. I had a huge heart. And that's a problem with me, unfortunately. And there's more to this, but I'm just going to share that little bit of it. So, with my experience with these people, hardly any of them are 100% honest. I don't know if it's shame, guilt, or whatever. But I just know these situations in my past, I'll never let that happen to me again. If anybody knows my story about my ex-husband, which I'm not going to talk about right now, he did some time also. Where is everybody tonight? Alma, where are you? You're supposed to be here. Okay, let me see something here. All right. Okay. I can't find it. Okay, I'm going to end this one for now. And thank you, anybody who listens to this, watches it, whatever it may be. Have a good night.